Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michelle. I'm Michelle. So today I'm going to be trying a recipe that I've never tried before. This is champagne shrimp pasta, although it really should be called sparkling wine because we're not using actual champagne in this particular recipe. I don't have that kind of money. If you do, feel free, go ahead. But that's not what I'm going to be doing. This is from iamhomesteader.com. So to make this recipe, we are going to need the following ingredients. Angel hair pasta, olive oil, butter, mushrooms. I'm putting in portobello. You could use baby bellas instead. That's what they actually have in the original. This is what I happen to have on hand. Fresh garlic, kosher salt, pepper, shrimp. We need it. The original recipe is for 1.5 pounds. Again, I'm not going that kind of expensive, so this is only 1 pound. You need 1.5 cups of the sparkling wine. It needs to be dry sparkling wine, so you don't want a sweet one. You want dry. So if you happen to want to use champagne, then yes, you definitely can do that. This is the Barefoot Extra Dry, which is one of my favorites. And then you need some shallots, some cherry or grape tomatoes. I'm going to be using grape tomatoes, heavy cream, parsley, and then if you want, some Parmesan cheese to garnish. To begin, start with your pasta, which I have on the stove over there. We're going to be cooking the pasta according to its package directions, but make sure that when you go to drain it, that you save 1 cup of the cooking liquid. Meanwhile, over here, we're going to be preparing the sauce. So first thing is to put 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of butter in here, and we're going to melt that over medium to medium-high heat. Okay, once we have that melted, we're going to be putting in our sliced mushrooms. And I cut the portobello in half and then sliced them. This was just 2 caps, which was 6 ounces. If you use regular baby bellas, it's just 2 cups. I'm guessing probably 8 ounces is going to be enough. We'll see how much this turns out to be. This looks like a pretty good amount. So we are now going to cook these until they're getting tender. So I suspect that will take probably a good 5-6 minutes maybe. Alright, so once we've got these kind of softened up like this, we're going to be adding in the garlic, and I did like 2 cloves was a small one for that. And then 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. And mix that together. We're just gonna stir that garlic in there until it's basically getting fragrant. So maybe 30 seconds or so. It doesn't need a super long time because we definitely don't want it to burn. Definitely plenty fragrant. Now we are going to be adding in that 1.5 cups of the sparkling wine. Be very careful. And the original recipe doesn't have you do it in this order, but I wanted to infuse my mushrooms with a bit of this flavor. Before going on to the next step. So again, it's optional if you wanted to do it in this order. I'm going to go ahead and now take my mushrooms and transfer them to a separate bowl. We are now going to add in our shrimp. And we're going to increase the heat a little bit so you can get those shrimp cooked up. And let that cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, so this has been going for about 3 minutes or so, and I can see that my shrimp are already curling up, and that usually means that they're starting to get done. So I'm going to take my slotted spoon and go ahead and transfer that same bowl that I used for the mushrooms. Once you've got the shrimp out, you will now I'm going to go ahead and put the heat back down, and we're going to be adding in the shallots. I did, it said 3 small shallots, and it didn't say what to do with them, so I went ahead and sliced them really thin. I did 3 very small, kind of chestnut-sized ones. So you see I did that. I'm going to go ahead and throw those in. And then a ½ cup of, as it said, cherry tomatoes. I had the grape ones. I went ahead and kind of put mine in smaller chunks like this. It said quarter them if you're using the cherry tomatoes. And we are to keep going with this until the amount of liquid has reduced to approximately a ½ cup, although I don't really want to have to measure that with all of this stuff in here, so I think I'm probably just going to make my best guess. Now that I am guessing this is close to about a ½ cup, there's not that much, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and add in the heavy cream. This is a cup of heavy cream. We are now to bring this to a boil. Once we've got that at a boil, to get that sauce to start thickening, then we will use the reserve pasta water depending on what kind of consistency we want here. It's pretty thick, so I definitely think I'm going to have to use at least a little bit there. Alright, so I've probably added in about 1/3 of a cup or so of the pasta cooking sauce, and that's pretty good, I think. I am going to turn my heat back just a little bit because it's pretty bubbly here, and I decided that I want to add in some fresh grated Parmesan. I was going to just be lazy and go with pre-shredded, but if you're adding it into a sauce, you should not use the pre-shredded because it can cause your cream sauce in particular to break. So this is not going to be a specific amount. I just thought it smells like it needs this Parmesan to be in there to give it a little bit more oomph to the sauce. So again, no idea exactly how much that is. You kind of use your own judgment. And then the original recipe has 3 tablespoons, which to me is a lot. I'm going to be cutting that back to 2 tablespoons of curly parsley that I've chopped up. Yes, that smells great. I've also seasoned this with salt and pepper, which it did say to do. That's looking really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and add back in my shrimp and mushrooms and all the accumulated juice with those. Oh yes, that's very nice. That's smelling great. All right, this has come together, so I'm going to cut my heat and I'm going to add in my pasta. This is a lot more pasta than I thought it was going to be. So I'm just going to give that a stir so that we can get our pasta heated through. And I'll plate it up and I'll see you at final plating. So here we are at final plating, and it's smelling great. Looks really great to me. I am totally ready to have a taste of this. Let's see how this turned out. We definitely have to get a mushroom in there somehow. And one of the shrimp. Yeah, it looks like a good bite. Pardon me. Yes, that's really different and good. I really like that. I think that having the Parmesan is definite. You really do need to put that Parmesan in there. I think that is the right amount of parsley. More than that would just make it taste like pure parsley. But that's only my opinion. If you wish to add more and let me know how it turns out, please do. And thank you for joining me for another episode of Cheesy Michelle. Please be sure to like this video, share it with others, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment if you decide to make this or what you think of it. And we'll see you next time. Au revoir. You don't want to collect for me. Here are mushrooms. Oh shoot.